Honorable members, Madam Speaker.
Prayer.
Almighty God, who in your infinite wisdom and providential goodness have appointed the offices of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of humanity, we beseech you to look upon with your abundant favor these your servants, whom you have been pleased to call to the performance of such important trusts in this land. Let your blessing descend upon them here assembled, and grant that they may, as in your presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under their deliberation, in such just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interests you have committed to their charge. Amen.
Item 2, communication from the chair.
Honorable members, I want to welcome you for this afternoon sitting. I know it has been raining, but I want to thank you so much for coming. And especially some people, Honorable Chris, you're most welcome. My doctor, I want to thank you so much for coming and coming at this time and earlier than me, actually. That's why I'm thanking you for coming earlier than me, because there's only two people who beat me here. That is the Kabale group. Honorable Musasizi and Honorable Bahati. Honorable members, following my directive of yesterday, the report of the Committee of Tourism, Trade and Industry on the inquiry of governance, value for money on the budgetary appropriation for cooperatives for financial year 2011-2012, 2022-2023 was duly uploaded as per the request of the whip, government whip. And I urge you members to read that report and internalize it. And I also want to request the institutions that were given the report, that is IGG, CIID, DPP, to give us actions taken within 3 months from the day of submission of the report. Honorable members, you're aware that schools are breaking off, children are coming back home. This is a time that we need to do parenting. It's a long holiday. And because it's a long holiday, these children are subjected to a number of challenges that border with the early marriages, early pregnancies, that is the sexual harassment, exploitation of these kids, the violence, human trafficking. So as parents, guardians, we should be able to support these kids in this long holiday. I want all the parents outside there to ensure that they do effective parenting. While these children are at home, they should do effective parenting. I also want to ask government agencies. Yesterday, something came up on issues of water, power in most of these institutions. You find a police barracks does not have water. The hospital, nurses' quarters, and whichever have no water, have no electricity. why don't we have government to government discussion and see how some of these things can be resolved? Because if this is government to government, can't we resolve it? Can't that be handled? Why would we leave a police officer who is guarding you to be in a dark place? A police officer without water in a barracks. That looks queer. So we may need to look at it. And I would request government to look onto that and see how we can resolve those issues. I want to thank Kampala KCCA, City Authority, for trying to punch the potholes in town. I see they are trying to punch the potholes, but unfortunately they are punching the potholes only where they think the visitors are going to pass. The biggest visitors in this country are us. We are all visitors in this country. First start with us, because all of us come from outside Kampala. We are visitors in this city. So punch everywhere. We've given you money, not only a road going to Munyonyo, and we know there are a lot of impact on, there is a diversion, you cannot pass and that kind of thing. And with this too much rain that is happening, there's a lot of inconvenience. So I request KCCA And have it. Let's first host this one. And let's not attach it to politics, no vote. Vote for who? I hope you have votes for yourself first. Honorable members, let's desist from such, because if these people of CAF hear that, it's a very bad publicity for the country. Very bad publicity for this country. And I believe the Minister of Education, I believe Cabinet and government is going to do the right thing, following what was in the bid and following a presidential pledge. Let's differentiate presidential pledges and what is in the bid. The checklist is there in the bid, what was put there. And that's why you find people like Nachivuva are going to host. Nambole is going to host. But there is going to be a stadium put up in Arua, but not for AFCON. I want to thank you so much. And I request that as you enter in, please clog in and clog out. Today is the second day. I started counting yesterday. Clog in and clog out. I am checking the list every day of people who attend the house. Honorable members, I was reading on social media this afternoon. Actually, my colleague from Kenya called me this afternoon. His office called me. Now there's a man who was arrested called Okello, who stole a vehicle. Okello Wilson, who stole a vehicle. I don't know from where. He was beaten, I think was taken to Kenya Hospital. And when he got conscious, I think he wanted some refuge somehow. And said, I'm a brother to the Speaker of Uganda. Not all Okellos, not anybody who starts with the Ohubua, Okema. Not all Okellos are my brothers. I don't know the person. If Kenya should take that seriously and prosecute the person, because I don't know him. We don't want thieves. And I don't have relatives who are thieves. One of my relatives in this house is Obua. We come from the same clan, but he's not a thief. He's not a thief. Honorable members have received matters of national importance from Honorable Migade, Honorable Viralo, Honorable Annette, and Honorable Feta, and James. Kindly allow me. Tomorrow we have nothing on the order paper apart from Members' Day. As I told you, we will have Members' Day on Thursdays. I am requesting members on that. That is one. Two, I am not going to accept anything on AFCON. I have communicated my position. I am only going to receive from the minister what was the decision of cabinet. Honorable Minister. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for the communication and for appreciating that I came early. I also began yesterday to come early to monitor your health. As you sit there, Madam Speaker. Yes, as we all know, Uganda, together with Tanzania, the United Republic of Tanzania, and Kenya, put a bid for AFCON, and they met the requirements, and we won the bid. And therefore, all of us should be united in supporting this more so we, the members of parliament, we should be patriotic enough to support that. Secondly, I didn't listen to the press conference by the honorable colleagues from Malango, and you have correctly guided. I think we should separate issues. Let's not mix AFCON with what government has promised or intends to do. I know there has been an outstanding pledge to build the stadium, the Akibwa Stadium in Lango, and the Buhinga Stadium in Fort Portal. That the government is aware. Just a few weeks ago, we had a discussion in the cabinet. I think we were discussing sports, the sports bill, and we took a decision that going forward, government is going to build stadia in the different parts of the country. And we shall start with the regional stadia, so that all the regions are covered, the north, the east, the west, the central. And then also we shall later on build the stadia at sub-regional level, the zones, the old independence districts, West Nile, Acholi, Chigezi, Toro, at that level. So in that discussion, Akibwa Stadium as well as Buhinga are accommodated in that pledge. So my plea is, like we have guided, let's not mix the AFCON bid, which we successfully won together with the sister countries. We separate it from the government commitment to construct stadia in the different parts of the country. So our colleagues from Malango and the Toro, you should rest assured that the government is aware of those pledges, and through this parliament, we shall appropriate resources and ensure that we have stadia in the different parts of the country. I thank you very much, Right.
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister of Information. In the public gallery, we have students from Islamic University in Uganda. And where are you? Welcome. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Yes. Okabe.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. My name is Emmanuel Omoding Okabe, representing Serere County. The people of Serere and me want to join the fellow colleagues to congratulate you for being an Alongo and Salongo, for this band of joy you've given us, and the blessings shall continue. I also want to take this opportunity to thank members and colleagues, and especially you. You all stood with me and the Okabe family when we lost Honorable Patrick Okabe and my mother in that nasty accident in Budaka. I just want to thank you all for standing with me, and some of you have been counseling me, supporting me, and praying with me. And I think this is what it should be, to stand together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Honorable Okabe, and we'll always stand with you. Honorable Flores Kasese, thank you so much for being in the House. Being opposition, you have to be here to represent your people. Thank you for being in the House. Yes. Eric.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
All of you will speak, don't worry.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Allow me to raise my voice also to congratulate you for being a Nalongo. Congratulations from the people of Buyaga East. Madam Speaker, you have given a very thorough communication about how KCCA is doing a great work on punching these holes within the city. And given that we have serious rains and disrupting us, and given that we have also the issues to do with the environmental challenges and change in weather patterns, our roads are really impassable. When we go to rural areas, sincerely, the local person is having challenges. And when you go to our constituencies, honorable members, they will agree with me, most of the swampy areas are now a problem to our communities. Madam Speaker, it would be very well if UNRA would interest itself in ascertaining the number of bridges that have been broken. Like now, you may have difficulty in connecting to Hoima because the Kafu River is completely broken and the people surrounding are really in dire need. That's only in Kafu, but we have several areas like if these are Maram roads. Madam Speaker, you also remember that the heavy rains come with several challenges. They come with diseases, cholera, and the other, and the malaria, typhoid. So we would interest the UNRA and Ministry of Works to intervene and also mitigate the measures that would be a problem. I thank you.
Thank you so much, government. I think you need to take note of that. And when you reach, there's a road from Kamuli Nabirumba Bridge. You can't even cross. It is totally broken, and that needs to be handled. And even when you talk about KCCA here, there are a lot of floods. The business community has started building in trenches. I don't know what the government is doing about it. Government, the business community is building in trenches.
Right, Honorable Speaker, the issue of building in undesignated areas such as trenches and wetlands majorly has been handled by Cabinet. To the best of my recollection, we agreed that all land titles issued within wetlands should be cancelled and those involved prosecuted in accordance with the laws of Uganda. It is now incumbent upon the respective organs of government through the line ministries to swing into action. Thank you.
Thank you. Water, do you have what to say?
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Let me first of all take my personal opportunity to congratulate you, Right Honorable Speaker, as the Nalong of this country. And we are proud that you are adding to our population. Right Honorable Speaker, the issue of the environment, which has been raised and my Chief Whip has referred to us, as government, we have already gotten the presidential directive, and as cabinet, we have already made a decision. The challenge, Right Honorable Speaker, is that we have a lot of forged certificates which are given out there. Certificates by so-called NEMA, and then the certificates. The cancellation process is on, and the processes by the Ministry of Land has started. We have, as NEMA, since the directive of the president, officially there's no insurance of any certificate allowing anybody to construct in the wetland. We have gone ahead, Right Honorable Speaker, to ensure that those who are in the wetland, that we have classified them as directed by the president, those who are falling under category of Bukedia, other areas who are using our wetlands for livelihood, we have gone ahead to plan and implement alternative sources of livelihood. So we are shifting them away from that. But the biggest challenge is the illegal degraders. Honorable members of parliament, I just, through you, Chair, Madam Speaker, I want to pray that we as a country, we take all responsibility. Anyua cannot be everywhere. We are all government. Let's take this responsibility and report those illegal people. The challenge also is that it is the very people we are talking to, the very called untouchables, who are also degrading the environment. So we take on this mantle and even blacklist them, show them out, because we have now the action to be taken as directed by the president. We are in action, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much. And before we take action on those ones up country, can we first take action on the fiscal planning department in KCCA so that we are able to plan for the trenches very well? Yes. We have all these legs. I'm about to name one annual lake.
Right, Honorable Speaker. As government, like here in the city, we talk to each other. Our environmental officers, we have them in KCCA, and indeed, we under the guidance of the Prime Minister, where there's already inter-ministerial committee, we talk to each other on this. And as you have also guided, I think we need only to intensify and let mainstream what we're doing so that we don't have duplication of work. We don't have even doing work without consulting each other. The problem is that we were working in the disjointed manner, but now we are working under the guidance of the Prime Minister, ministerial committee, and we are talking to each other. But friends, we still need your assistance. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And on a serious note, government, you need to take note and take charge of the fiscal planning department. It's rotten. KCCA, they need prayers. Achut, Dr. Achut.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. And on behalf of the people of Lango, we also want to offer our congratulatory messages. For in Lango, we don't call it a Nalongo, but a Min Rudi. So we therefore congratulate you for becoming a Min Rudi. Right Honorable Speaker, we also want to thank you for the communication that you have made on AFCON. And as Lango Parliamentary Group, our desire really is that we remain united in this bid. I know there could have been some social media outbursts from some of our people, but that has not been our intention. However, our concern that we came out with today was that on the 3rd of October, when we were discussing the motion to pay tribute to Uganda for winning the AFCON bid, there was a statement that was read out by the Minister of State for Education, which was signed, and I have a soft copy on it. Within that statement, they said that government had made 6 commitments to CAF as far as AFCON is concerned. One of the commitments was to construct 2 additional stadia. And it specifically mentioned Akibwa, and then it says Buhinga or Hoima Stadium. And we had a very lengthy discussion. And the impression that was understood at that time was that Akibwa will be part and parcel of this bid. The change suddenly is what has created a lot of outcry and concern. And I really request, Right Honorable Speaker, that we sit and see how best to harmonize this. Because as we speak, 29 out of 30 MPs have really, come up with this resolution. It is our humble plea. You are our mama, you are our Min Rudi. We really request that you help your members to see how best to handle this, because there's a lot of pressure from the 2.4 million people in Lango.
Honorable Dr. Chut, Akibwa, I remember when I was in Kosase, I even arrested somebody we ordered for an arrest of somebody who had eaten money for Akibwa. And if there is any place to get a stadium, that is the place to get, because there is a history behind it. It has a history behind it. It's not that you want it. It is in memory of the late Obua. Now, that was a presidential directive. I also want to interest you in looking at the AFCON bid. If you want a copy, you can pick a copy from either my office or Deputy Speaker's office. That was filled. It has the checklist of what is required. But that said and done, that does not stop us from having that place constructed. We will have it constructed. Let's have it budgeted for. Let's appropriate and have it constructed. It doesn't require us to make noise outside there that you're addressing in press conferences. Honorable Nyakun is going to come tomorrow and start addressing a press conference for Karamoja that we also want. So you see that. Let's avoid that kind of thing, but we are going to have it in place. Buhinga is going to have a stadium. Whether it, yes, it's going to have a stadium. It's yes.
Yeah.
You want your people to hear you say something.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker Achiki. And I congratulate you for giving us twins and becoming a Nalongo. The people of Tora are very happy and they love you. Right Honorable Speaker, you mentioned something very interesting in your opening remarks. And this was about the children going back for holidays. And when we did our study, Right Honorable Speaker, we found that the country lacks sports facilities. So the issue of sports facilities that should occupy our young children, nurture their talents, is really a must, because in any country, the government plans for the younger population. So these issues of the stadium, they are issues that are they are obligations of the state. And I think we do not need to pull strings of really demanding for something which government must plan for. Luckily, when we made our prayer to the president, as people of Toro for Buhinga Stadium, he came and even laid the foundation stone. And he promised the people of Toro to have the stadium. So luckily enough, the African comes on board. Now, Madam Speaker, I would like to draw your attention that when we are going to host the Commonwealth, the government suffocated other budget lines and ensured that infrastructure that is required for the Commonwealth to take course is built, and it took us a lot of money. I implore you kindly, Madam Speaker, that in the same spirit, after learning of the conditions of the African, government can direct resources specifically to fulfill those requirements, and this will boost the economy of this country. So for me, instead of tagging ourselves only to the 3 stadia, which are ready, and maybe the advantage of Hoima, we could say now, government, this is a chance, this is an opportunity. What is missing in Lango, what is missing in Toro, let us fix it. And then we have this stadia in place. That is our plea, and that's why I never called a press conference, because I have personally been engaging you, Madam, and you have been giving me good news, engaging the president. I hope that this discourse continues and the resolutions which we have made here in Parliament are respected. I beg to move, Madam Speaker.
Honorable members, as I say, let's not discuss issues of AFCON. Let's not discuss issues of AFCON. It's an agreed fact that we'll have a number of stadia in different areas. It is also a fact that in the bid, there are specific issues. There are specific items that were raised. You must have 5-star hotel. You must have an airfield. A number of things that was put in the what? And those are things that the checklist that is being checked. And when people say that Hoima is getting, maybe Fort will also put up 5-star tomorrow. Maybe Honorable Kotogong is planning to put a 5-star in Ilera. So 2027 is far. Don't make the noise now. That will be sorted. Huh? Yes? Yes, Viralo.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would have been the first to congratulate you
Because it's the Salongo.
because I come from a family of many twins, only that I have not made it. Right Honorable Speaker, in the region where I come from, a Narongo and a Sarongo are the most respected people in society. Even when you come from a family that has got a Nyenabarongo, which is the Narongo in Uganda, and Ishabarongo, you do not get any negative attention in that society. So the fact that we come from the same society of parliament with you, we also feel untouchables. And the implication is that we are also shall be respected in the forthcoming activities. Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you.
Back to your communication, Right Honorable Speaker, I thank you for talking about the patching in Kampala by Kampala State Council. Equally the same, Right Honorable Speaker, in the countryside, there is a lot of patching on the face and leaving the rest of the body unwashed. You know, when they patch these areas in Kampala where the guest is going to pass, they leave the behind, they leave the other streets and the other roads unattached. Likewise, the districts which are in corners, which are not on highways, like from Kampala, Masaka, Mbarara, Bushenyi, Shaka, Kasese, there is some attention. But a district in a corner like Buhwezu, there is virtually no road stock off. Let it be Union Road, let it be a district road, let it be a community road, let it be even the Burunji Bwansi, which is done by the natives. There is virtually no road, and someone should not tell us about the funds released by Uganda Road Fund. They are too meager to cause any effect in Buhwezu. Right, Honorable Speaker, I would make an appeal that the district in corners, not only Buhwezu but like Buhwezu, should get special affirmative action. Right, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move.
Thank you, government.
Right Honorable Speaker, we all recall that recently this parliament had a very long debate, especially on infrastructure and specifically roads. In all districts in Uganda, in all cities and all municipalities. And you personally played a very key role, even in changing the earlier guidelines that had made emphasis on we wanted maintenance, but the Ministry of Works wanted something else. And all of us as members of parliament are members of the Roads Committee. And I want to confirm that every district, city, and municipality in Uganda, out of the 1 billion that this parliament passed, has received already 500 million Uganda shillings. It may be meager, but it is going to all districts, to all cities, to all municipalities. We all passed this. I want to implore my honorable colleague, because he has even stated that even at the district, Buhwezu is one of the districts that, in my humble opinion, has equally received a sum of 500 million Uganda shillings. If there are roads falling under Uganda National Roads Authority, we can draw the attention of the Ministry of Works. But in as far as the district roads are concerned, all municipalities, cities in Uganda received. In as far as community access roads that are under sub-counties are concerned, all sub-counties in Uganda have received their share. I beg to submit, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, but Honorable Minister, you could also tell UNRWA to look at this issue. He has a unique issue. You know where Buhwezu is. It's off-road. It's so deep in a corner there that even going there is not an easy thing. You could ask UNRWA to look at it.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I undertake to do that straight away, even while our proceedings are still going on.
You could also ask UNRWA about the Nabirumba Bridge. I want to go home over the weekend, but I have nowhere to pass. Yes, Max. Max, why did you people beat a reverend? Catholics don't behave like that. Priest.
Thank you very much.
Beat a priest.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. Before I say anything on your communication, let me clarify on that matter. Madam Speaker.
That one, I want an explanation. You come to my office.
Okay.
Because please. I know everything.
Okay, thank you. Please. But briefly, it was a lie that the priest was beaten. It was just politics. You know the politics in my place. That said, Madam Speaker, allow me first of all, Madam Speaker, on behalf of the people of West Budama North constituency, and also on my own behalf, to congratulate you upon becoming Toto Dwe. Madam Speaker, in your communication, like others have observed, you address the issue of KCCA roads. But what is good for the goose is also good for the gander. Where I come from, in West Budama North constituency, there is a particular road that is Tororo Nagongara Busolwe. That road is in a bad state. Last week, the councillors of the district demonstrated. Unfortunately, they were arrested. And it took me on Friday to go and try manually by myself to try to patch up some places. Could you help me address this matter to the Ministry of Works such that they can prevail over UNRWA to go and do an emergency repair on this road? I will appreciate.
You have information from Busole?
Yeah, thanks very much, Right Honorable Speaker, and thanks very much, Honorable Max, for giving way. Right Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the people of Bunyole West, Butaleja District, and on my own behalf, I want to congratulate you for becoming a Navajuana. that is in Bunyole. Right Honorable Speaker, the information I wanted to give my colleague, Honorable Max, is that the road he's talking about stretches right from Tororo Nagongera Busolwe, and it goes up to Busaba in my constituency. Right Honorable Speaker, UNRWA was doing something on that said road in terms of low-cost seal. There was an advert which was placed, and they started working on 6 kilometers. They worked on 6 kilometers right from Musenda. That's where where Butaleja district starts from to Mulaji. And the advert was that they would continue and stretch from Mulaji to Busava, and then from Busolwe to Nagongera. Right when I'll speak up to now, nothing is taking place. So I would request that as UNRWA looks at the entire road, they should also come and explain how far this low-cost seal has reached. Thank you very much, Right
Honorable members, I want to advise you, when you know there's such kind of a road, and you even know there's a contractor that has been given such a road, why don't you go to UNRWA to make a follow-up? You don't even need to write. Go and make a follow-up and say there's this and this that is happening in my constituency. It would be a good thing for you. You can raise it on the floor here, and it's not answered. Yes, James, I told you tomorrow. On my communication.
Thank you. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. And Madam Speaker, I am instructed by my culture because my father used to tell me that when a mother is in the village, is for the nation. And Madam Speaker, I'm humbled to have a mother, especially a mother of twins. Congratulations, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, thank you very much for raising the issue of roads. And thank you very much for raising the issue of people constructing on trenches. Madam Speaker, I sit on the infrastructure committee. It is that character, that behavior is being blessed by government. I have had the behavior of people constructing on trenches.
Honorable, government is me and you. So you
I want to clarify, Madam Speaker.
Listen, you want to say that you're one of the people who have blessed such a kind of thing? A criminal is a criminal. Let's identify one criminal, prosecute that person, and not bundle everybody.
Madam Speaker, we have made a report.
Can I have that report
And
tomorrow?
Madam Speaker, on that matter, we will see how we have seen people writing letters, allowing people to construct on trenches.
Can we have your
Madam
report?
Speaker, I want to thank you once again. On the issue of roads, we should stop having lovely expenditure. We need to look at return on investment. Madam Speaker, I come from a constituency which is contributing 65% on the tourism revenue of this country. But Madam Speaker, as I talk, yesterday, tourists failed to reach Buhoma. And they can't cross. Madam Speaker, I would need your indulgence at this matter. Honorable Musasi, I want to thank him. He knows this subject as a Minister of Finance. What do we do? Because this is our cash cow that is being depleted now so far. Kanyantologo to Buhoma and to Ruhija is now broken down. The tourists are the ones that give us money. And Madam Speaker, the 70 billion that comes from Guinea, only, Madam Speaker, the budget for UA is 124 billion. We contribute 70 billion. And now it is being broken down. Are we really doing something? Madam Speaker, I need your indulgence. Thank you.
Government.
Right, Honorable Speaker, without any doubt in my mind, we are all aware that the Mother Nature has gotten annoyed with us. In all parts of Uganda, there are heavy rains. Bridges are affected, roads are affected, there are floods more or less everywhere. But just like you were interjecting when the member was submitting, how I wish you could direct them, since he stated that their report is ready, and you even indicated that the report can be presented tomorrow, such that we have a comprehensive and structured debate on the report of a parliamentary committee, because I could hear you interject. And we promise that the ministry in charge of the sector will be available. But honorable colleagues, all said and done, the Ministry of Works and Transport, including UNRWA, needs our additional support in terms of funding to handle the emergencies that are currently happening in the country.
Thank you. Honorable members. Independent, okay. Independence.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. My mom is a twin. My brother has twins. I have one. Congratulations. On your communication, Right Honorable Speaker, yesterday you guided and directed that the report of the Trade Committee should go to the relevant authorities. And today you have informed us that the same documents have been uploaded for us to read. Right Honorable Speaker, I recall that sometime in this parliament.
Honorable.
Yes, please.
Honorable.
Yes.
We are not debating. We are not discussing. We are not even saying anything on that report. It ended yesterday. I was only informing you that since you wanted it uploaded.
Yes.
It is uploaded. Go ahead, look at it, and that is that. The other institutions have already started their work. So let's not.
Much obliged, right, Honorable Speaker. Secondly, on the issue of roads, I think Kampala has suffered a lot of lack of funding, and we only do a knee-jerk approach when visitors are coming for us to start patching up as we are doing now. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to urge my colleagues that I think it's time for us now to plan appropriately so that we can fund Kampala, because this is our place, this is where we live. We don't have to wait for visitors, we just have to put more money so that we deal with Kampala roads. In terms of district roads and community roads, Right Honorable Speaker, I'm the chair of Otuke District Road Committee in Otuke. I want to salute my colleague, the Honorable Minister of Finance, for actually releasing money in time. We have had meetings, and as a committee, we are doing quick interventions of the district roads and community roads so that our people actually have the roads they deserve. And I would want to ask my colleagues that let us play a role as leaders and we are actually by law ex-official members of the district committees, and make sure that we participate, we do oversight roles, and for those who are chairs, we make sure that our people, actually the roads are done and they have a better road. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable members, as we said, these roads, we are all members of the road committee. And if I can tell you, in my district where I come from, my chair of the road committee, first of all, we don't have problems with the roads because we have a chair who will follow what is being done. He will move with those contractors from morning to sunset. And my chair of the road committee is here. The chair of the road committee.
Speaker, first of all, congratulations, Madam Speaker, for expanding my clan. In Ateso, we say Emulia Korea. So thank you very much. Then you respond Korea. So thank you very much. Actually, as far as roads is concerned, we are operating very well. We are trying our level best with the existing constraint. But an amount of 1 billion in the budget is not small money. A big leap from what we used to have, 20 million. So I think we are doing very well, and everywhere we must get involved in ensuring that corruption does not eat into this. I thank you, Right Honorable.
Thank you. Procedure.
Right Honorable Speaker, you alluded to the committee report of trade that handled cooperatives and other related matters. And you indicated that agencies could pick up and handle them. Would it be procedurally right that we first adopt the report as a committee, because the committee processed under Article 9 of the Constitution, it reports to the House, then the House adopts, then the agencies take over from there. I beg to be guided. Thank you.
Honorable members, I am putting a question that the Committee of Trade, Tourism and Industry on inquiry into the governance and value for money for budgetary appropriation to the cooperatives for financial year 2011, 2012, 2022, 2023 be adopted by this House. Those in favor say the contrary, nay. The ayes have it. Yes, procedure.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have a concern that I am seeking your guidance. We have honorable members of parliament of this House who have made it a habit to run to the media, make some statements without taking advantage of your office. Your office is always open. We have a chance to always address our issues to you. But somebody goes to the media, makes a statement before coming to you. Because Rule 30 tells us how we can petition or we can bring petitions to your office if our constituents have issues that needs to be addressed. 2 weeks ago, the caucus of a Acholi parliamentary group, crap and matter related to Bararo, they know how it's being handled. They made some serious statements.
Honorable,
Yesterday,
honorable,
wait a minute, Madam
honorable.
Speaker. Madam Speaker, allow me finish this. I'm done with that.
Okay.
Let me finish now.
Okay, first it.
Okay.
First it. Honorable members, the issue of Balalo was an executive order. We do not have the locus to debate on it. And if those people, let's not discuss that. Let's not discuss that. Unless you have something else.
Thank you for your guidance, Madam Speaker. Related to that, yesterday, another group went to the media about now AFCON. My question is, Madam Speaker.
That is closed. We have finished AFCON
Yeah, my
also.
question to you. Okay, where I'm seeking your guidance. Why don't you allow me finish?
Honorable members, and that is the benefit of coming to this house early. We've debated, we've discussed issues of AFCON, and we've agreed on a way forward. We've closed it. Can we hear from Kampala? Honorable Minister first. Honorable Minister. And on the issues of the roads, I want you people to, on the issues of the roads, honorable members, Honorable Samu, on the issues of the roads, honorable members, I want all of you to get involved. An additional 1 billion shillings that we gave to this constituency, that's a lot of money. The money has gone, finance, haven't you released the money to all constituencies? That's why is Alex saying it is not there?
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. I just wanted to make some additional information which I have communicated to the public from Cabinet, that the government still sends the road fund, but in addition, government made a commitment to give each district 1 billion shillings and to release the quarterly.
Each district, each city, each municipality.
Yes. And the clarification I wanted to give is that that additional 1 billion shillings is for maintenance of existing roads. Because we found out that in some districts, people were budgeting for the 1 billion to open like 12 kilometers of a new road. So the clarification we have given to the districts and the public, which I want to give through Parliament, is that the 1 billion shillings is to maintain the existing roads in our communities.
Thank you. Thank you. There's a procedure matter.
Madam Speaker, you gave a wonderful communication today. You hit almost all aspects of life and majorly of the police force, whereby you say that it is not good for utilities like water and electricity really to be denied to hospitals and police barracks. Because I've never heard about army barracks since they have their spokesperson is here. Madam Speaker, I brought here a matter concerning Exodus. The purpose was to address the flight of the police personnel in this country. And as you talked, truly speaking, the police barracks in this country, water and electricity is received on ration. When you receive at night, in the morning, you don't receive. I therefore, Madam Speaker, I don't know whether we are proceeding well, that the Exodus report that was supposed to be given, that was supposed to be submitted to this August House for us to look into the welfare of the police has taken too long since you advised and directed. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Minister, Internal Affairs, do you have any information on Exodus? The chairman of the committee.
Right, Honorable Speaker, even this morning, the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs held a meeting to consider a draft report of the Exodus. Last week, in the Business Committee, 2 weeks ago, we confirmed that we are on course. I can pledge that this report should be ready next week. We are listening to the cries of the police officers, the savers, and our brothers. And we are considering it, and we are leaving no stone unturned.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs, when we were communicating here, we had an issue in regard to the water, electricity, on the welfare of police officers, where they stay. Some of them don't have water, like you've heard what Honorable Macho is saying. They ration. Water is there in the morning, in the afternoon it's not there, in the night it's not there. What do we do? When you look at, maybe you need to borrow a leave from the army barracks.
Right, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Members, I was a little bit confused earlier when the Honorable Macho linked utility. I think these are two different things. But that said, we have issues with the water and electricity. Earlier on this floor, I remember presenting a statement regarding that matter, but I request to go back and get the current status and come back to Parliament with a more informed position on the matter. Right, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. And how you could even wish, you could request in Zambia, just within the barracks, just grade that road so that cars can be able to pass. Thank you. Kampala. Hey, the minister.
Thank you so much, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, through you, I want to thank you for this opportunity so that I can say one or two things that are pertinent. One of them is, as I have heard the Honorable Kampala, my son, say Senga. I thought the record would not be right if the Senga I don't come here and join my other colleagues to express the cheers when I heard that you had the baby, the twins, the Wazukuru, you added on the Wazukuru list.
Thank you, Senga.
It was a moment of joy, personally, and I knew you knew how I felt. I wish you and the baby and the daddy all the best. Another issue, Right Honorable Speaker, is that on behalf of all members of this Parliament and other people outside there, your passion, your selflessness to touch hearts of many. They have been saying you are mother. You are not only a mother. I think this week as you came in, you were seen going to the hospital to check on our colleagues. As a Minister of State General Duties, I am aware, me inclusive, how many people you have saved and touched to ensure that they have good health. Very passionate indeed. I've been here for some time, but this is your passionate, your humanity. You have not added other people to the population, the babies, but you want to see everybody. You cut across to care. You went to our hospitals. I would have joined you. I wasn't feeling well. You went into Zambia. Every person, even you reach out to them in their homes, even the hospitals. If I didn't say these words today, maybe I would not feel happy. I'm very happy on behalf of each and everybody, even Ugandans, the way you care about everyone, the way you care about every person to ensure they have good health. You don't care whether they are from which part, which opposition, which ideology, as long as that heart, I commend you. And I request, I know, by God's guidance, you will continue. It's your passionate to touch many. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
Amen. Thank you so much, Senga, and I wish you a quick recovery. Thank you. You're not reading a Bible or a Quran.
Not at all. Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker Narongo. And Honorable.
By the way, we have a new set of Valongo in the house by Honorable Grania. We also have another new baby called Anita Annette among by Honorable Nancy. Yes, congratulations to all of them.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to applaud you for your wonderful communication and the Honorable Hanifa Kawoya, and also add my voice to the others in commending your passion, but also your sense of motherlyhood and direction of leadership for having visited our honorable colleagues, and we pray and wish them a quick recovery. That's the Honorable Muhammad Segirinya of Kawempe and the Honorable Elot, I think from Soroti. Our minds and souls go to their families and to them. And as a house and their fellow members, through you, Right Honorable Speaker, we pray that the good Lord extends the hand of mercy unto them and the hand of relief so that they heal very well from their pains and diseases that they have. Right Honorable Speaker, Kampala has about 2,100 kilometers of road. And only a few have been opened up in the previous years, like you know. But I applaud you that when we sat here during the budgetary process, you put your foot down and you said we have to increase funding to Kampala. And that as well goes to this August House and the Budget Committee. Right Honorable Speaker, what we are seeing is partly the fruits. We can only harvest where we've sowed. If we invest little, we harvest little. If we invest a lot, we acquire a lot. Right Honorable Speaker, Kampala was designed as it is to only cater for 45,000 vehicles. That is including motorists and vehicles which we can call cars. And by the time it was declared a capital city, we had a functional railway line that you all knew, which is partly now not functional, like you all all know at the moment. But we would also like to say that the roads, most of the roads in the city have outlived their usefulness. And this patching you see is like an old man, someone with an old cloth. You keep patching and patching until you can't patch no more. I remember when we came here the other time, we talked about the status that is shaming to all of us. Wherever you pass, everyone's car arrives here when it is muddy. And the reason is, for as long as the funding of the city is still low, that is what we shall reap. There is no shortcut. But, Right Honorable Speaker, I went to the people and consulted with them, and I spoke it here. I think I also talked about it the other time, and asked the people that, would you be willing to pay an extra levy on fuel to upgrade our infrastructure? And all the people were positive. And they said, it's we who drive these cars
on these roads, we are much willing to see the face of our city, looking as the cities of our neighboring countries, because it's shaming to every individual that is in this country. And people are willing to pay. That's why people are willing to pay, Right Honorable Speaker, for the express highway. Because Ugandans want beautiful things and are willing to pay an extra coin to attain them. Now that the basket of goods and services that we have from our revenue is small, we can stand here and come up with an entire debate on our infrastructure and how to find this money. Then secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, this issue of patching, I agree with you. It has increased the disruption and traffic in the city. The recent report showed that we lose about 1,400 hours every year in traffic. 2 hours coming to work, 2 hours going back home, a maximum of about 4 hours. Because 90% of the people that work in the city do not necessarily live within the city center. Now, what happens? You lose 4 hours, probably for 300 days. That is about 1,400 hours. And that's an equivalent to about 50 days of not working. So at the end of the day, URA loses revenue.
Can you conclude?
Okay. URA loses revenue and etc. Right, Honorable Speaker, I would like to implore this House that we come up in a bipartisan manner and discuss the status of our country's infrastructure with view of finding a position of how we can improve it. Because for as long as it's not good, there is no investor you're going to convince to come and work in this country when the road network is poor, when the railway we talked about is not functional. We've talked about the SGR, we've talked about the light rail. All the other countries have done their they have perfected the art of improving public transport. Look at Tanzania on its SGR, look at Kenya on its standard gauge railway, Uganda for the last 11 years when we launched it, when the presidents launched it, we have nothing. So we must sit down and box ourselves in the corner and say we need better infrastructure so that the people that pay tax can really feel that there is a parliament and that there is a government.
Thank you. Honorable Unsereko, as government, I know government is still able to fund all its infrastructure, whatever, whether hospitals or whichever. We are not going to start soliciting for money that let's contribute. There's a way we can get money through taxes and whichever, but let's not go soliciting for money to help government. Government has not declared itself that it cannot be able to do that. When the potholes were on the road going to my home, you helped me and started punching them for me. You did it voluntarily on your own, but let's not be the ones to go out that we cannot be able. We have the money. We cannot say that we don't have. Finance, give us a position.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I want to thank you for your wise guidance on the matter. I was looking at Honorable Nsereko when he was making his submission, and I was shaking my head. I was wondering, what kind of economics are these? Madam Speaker.
Order. Right Honorable Speaker, I don't know whether to define the Honorable Musasi as a serious minister or not. What I talked about is a fuel levy, which is legislated by this House. This House passed a levy on fuel, which is a charge, which is a tax. So I've not talked about any abstract economics. I've said the people of Kampala are much willing, and the metropolitan, to pay an extra levy that is levied on
fuel. That's where the economics comes in.
It's okay.
That's where the economics comes in. As an economist, That's sit down. Chigongo, sit down. You know, let's do an intellectual fight, but not a physical one. The economic sense is talking about is on the increase. You continue, Honorable Minister. He's one of the most serious ministers, by the way.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, to cut the long story short, because I want to leave this house when my friend is happy with me, we have enough money to meet our priorities of government. We don't have to go around soliciting. Yes, Madam Speaker, as you can see, we have provided all this money which is making us get inconvenienced with traffic jam because the Kampala roads are being repaired. And all this is government money. And I want to commit before this house that as and when there is a need, we still have capacity to finance our infrastructure and other obligations of government without necessarily soliciting or adding unnecessary levies. Madam Speaker, taxation should not be looked at from one angle of raising revenue. We need to also look at its impact in terms of you want to generate revenue, but also you want to growth, and also you want to make your people comfortable. So these unnecessary levies will make our people uncomfortable, and we cannot take that route, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable members, the status of Uganda infrastructure requires answers to the following. One, do we have the National Fiscal Development Plan in Uganda? The answer is no, we don't have. Two, do we have the multi-modal transport infrastructure plan in Uganda? And the executive should be able to address this. When that is addressed, then we'll be able to resolve all this. I've seen the Minister of Agriculture, and as Parliament, we shall do our work appropriately once that is handled. Yes, Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, let me also take this opportunity to congratulate you and all these other Ugandans who are increasing our population. We wish many more returns of the activity. Having said that, Right Honorable Speaker, we do have a national physical development plan. It was approved by Cabinet and it has been gazetted, and we will soon table it here. But even before that, we are already working with a number of districts, and if I knew, I'd be able to bring the number, more than 15 districts and cities.
Dr. Honorable Nen, just a minute, I introduce your members before you go out.
So we do have a number of, all the districts do have what we call district physical development plans, all of them. Our challenge is, number one, the attitude of Ugandans, the mindset of Ugandans about the importance of physical planning. They think you can just do things the way you want, and except when the results are negative. And they're already been seen. Like Right Honorable Speaker, you have guided a lot of things which are happening in Kampala here, the drainages. These are all the results of not following the national the physical development plan for Kampala. Once that is followed,
would be able to alleviate a number of these. But having said all that, we're organizing a national launch for this physical development plan for the whole country. And soon you'll be informed, and will require our colleagues to follow up the process of implementation. But I urge all our members of parliament, our leaders in the country, to be leaders by example, by making sure that they will be the first people as an example people to follow the principles of the National Physical Development Plan and the district physical plans. Once we do that, with a little bit of money, we should be able to resolve the issues related to physical planning. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I think what we need to do for us to have change of attitude, we need to have a stakeholders engagement for people to be able to appreciate before we do even the enforcement. Honorable members in the public gallery this afternoon, we have a group of Gulu City officials consisting of the civil society organizations, the lawyers, victims of survivors of LRA. They are here and they are represented by Honorable Mapendusi Ojara and Honorable Onen Charles. Father here, and the father you see there is a very good member of parliament. And Honorable Ojara Mapendusi. They are very, very good members of parliament. You're their secretary in the constituency. You want to thank you so much for coming, and you're welcome. Join me in welcoming them. You have very good members of parliament and bring them back. Honorable members, can we move to the next item? We have a bill that we must pass.
Item 3, laying of papers, the annual macroeconomic and fiscal performance report for the financial year 2022-2023.
Honorable members, pursuant to Rule 30 of the rules of 31 of the rules of procedure, I hereby invite the Minister of Finance and Economic Development to table the report.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the rule you have just stated, I beg to lay on the table the macroeconomic and fiscal performance report for financial year 2022-2023.
Thank you. The report is accordingly referred to the Committee of Budget for scrutiny and other committees for information. Next.
Item 4, statement by Minister on the commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disability, due on 3rd December 2023.
Honorable Ministers of Disability, inclusion is a very vital precondition for protection of human rights and realization of sustainable development goals, peace and security. And pursuant to Rule 52(1) of the Rules of Procedure, I invite Honorable Minister Helen Asamo to come and give us a report to that effect.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker.
Honorable Ministers, Honorable, we have a bill. We need quorum, and we are going to the bill next after this.
Yeah, thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I also want to add my voice to congratulate you for the birth of our children who have added to our clan. As Honorable Shag said, as the Teso clan, we are very excited. Ija around Totodwe. Thank you so much. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members of Parliament, the United Nations Decade for Persons with Disabilities was held from 1983 to 1992 to enable governments and organizations to implement measures to improve the lives of persons with disabilities all over the world. On October 14, 1992, as the decade drew to a close, the UN General Assembly proclaimed 3rd December as the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. This day was first observed on December 3rd, 1992. Right Honorable Speaker, I want to request that I go to the real day so that I save time for some of the things that we need to discuss. The other past things can be handled by the members. I will only go straight to look at the theme. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the national theme for this year's celebration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities is the role of innovation in disability inclusion. These have been derived from the global theme for this year, which is transformative solutions for inclusive development, the role of innovation in fueling an accessible and equitable world. Right Honorable Speaker and members of Parliament, this year's theme is in line with the principle of leaving no one behind, as highlighted in the Sustainable Development Goals, NDP 3, Vision 2030, among other frameworks. The theme focuses on the need to raise awareness and exchange good practices on the importance of innovation as a tool to increase the possibilities for persons with disabilities. Innovations help persons with disabilities in meaningful participation, in expanding opportunities, and easy sharing of knowledge, and therefore it helps in reducing inequality. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the theme enjoys the executive, legislature, judiciary, and the private sector, especially the Minister of ICT, Minister of Science, Technology, and Innovation, universities, Minister of Health, Minister of Education and Sports, banks, telecommunication companies, manufacturers, NGOs, investors, committees of parliament, court assessors, among others, to critically think about all the new and upcoming innovations in the context of their meaningful inclusion of each category of persons with disabilities. The theme helps us to prioritize empowerment and independent living of persons with disabilities through provision of more user-friendly assistive devices and technologies. This enables persons with disabilities to navigate workspaces, access services, employment, and markets easily, hence enhancing equity and disability inclusive development. Right Honorable Speaker and the honorable members, each of the different categories of persons with disabilities has its unique need, and that all innovations need to prioritize. For example, persons with physical disabilities require innovations focused on powered wheelchairs, functional electrical stimulation to rehabilitate persons with spinal cord injuries, wearable exoskeletons that rehabilitate persons with stroke and other neurological conditions, among others. As a country, we need to increase funding for innovations. For instance, under Ministry of Health, regional workshops, this will enable them to produce assistive equipment with better and accommodative technologies. The persons with visual impairments need innovation in terms of adaptive technologies, such as Braille keyboards, smarter version of Braille, text-to-voice computing, talking devices, among other options. These innovations provide better chances of meaningful inclusion and independent living. The persons with hearing impairments need innovations in video real services. These services enable a person with a hearing impairment to receive assigned big screen telephone calls through a communication assistant who is a qualified universal sign language interpreter. Similar Ministry of Education and Sports need to explore innovations such as online sign language tutorials for secondary schools and signed audiovisual copies of the curriculum to mitigate the current teaching gaps in sign language. This also supplements all the instructional materials and methods. This, among others, would possibly address the current challenges of performance among learners with special needs.
In cases where there are no sign language interpreters, the ministry responsible for innovations or information communication and technology can support installation of real-time voice-to-text translation systems to work at places, schools, health facilities, and other public places. These systems can accurately transcribe voice conversations using speech-to-text knowledge in conferences, classrooms, among other platforms. These innovations will slowly promote independent living, especially among the educated category of persons with hearing impairments. The adoption of the subtitling of all voice speeches on television is another simple innovation, but with transformative results in the lives of persons with hearing impairment. Through the Uganda Communication Commission, though the Uganda Communication Commission requires all television stations to have sign language interpreters, this has not been fully achieved for all television programs. But subtitling of voice in most programs on TV, like it's done in international media, is a reform that can help bridge the gap. We need to consider this as a matter of urgency. The persons with a combination of hearing, speech, and visual impairments require the ministry in charge of technology and innovation to prioritize the area of tactile technology. This helps people with hearing, speech, and visual impairment communicate. It's an innovation that strives on the sense of touching and manipulation of hands between a helper, a person with such a disability. This is very transformative in the lives of persons with a combination of three impairments. The persons with albinism require government agencies like Uganda Pharmaceutical Industries and other local scientists to prioritize products such as sunscreens, face balms, among others, which are currently imported and very expensive. Persons with spina bifida condition require innovation in the local production of affordable organic diapers, among other materials, to strengthen accessible care for children with this category of disability. Similarly, children with hydrocephalus require innovations in the production of free or subsidized supplies, such as shunts. The shunts are medical tubes used in health facilities to drain extra fluids from the head of children with hydrocephalus. Most parents of such children cannot afford these critical supplies, yet they are not adequate in our health facilities. The person with short stature require government intervention to make adjustments for reasonable accommodation. For instance, there's a need for Minister of Finance to issue a circular to banks to have a certain percentage of ATM machines at a lower height to cater for persons with short stature. That's what we call little persons in Uganda, who keep complaining of inaccessibility. Then adjustments by ministry in charge of sanitation in the height of some toilets in public places to accommodate persons with short stature, among other adjustments for reasonable accommodation. Honorable Speaker and colleagues, the above are some of the few examples to demonstrate the urgent need for the different duty bearers to prioritize the promotion of innovation for disability inclusion. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, since the inception, and as is the practice, commemorating this day is organized on regional levels. Last year, it was in Northern Uganda, and this year we shall commemorate in Western region, and the approved venue for this year's commemoration is Marara District in Western Uganda, which was selected among others based on the timely expression of interest and other suitability considerations to host the day. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the chief guest of the day is expected to be the Right Honorable Prime Minister of the Republic of Uganda. Right, Honorable Speaker and colleagues, my ministry constitutes a national organizing committee comprised of representatives of ministries, departments, and agencies, non-state actors, and the host local government to spearhead arrangements for this event. Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, the pre-event and the D-Day activities include assessment of some persons with disabilities for assistive devices, distribution of assistive devices, a national disability symposium with a panel discussion on innovations for disability inclusion, HIV screening, blood donation, cancer screening, media engagements, and provision of a dummy checks for the selected groups in the region of the national that's the national special grant, exhibitions of inclusive innovations by private sector and government agencies, among others. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, I wish to acknowledge and appreciate the honorable members of the Parliament for their efforts in enacting enabling laws and supporting the budget allocation towards empowerment of persons with disabilities. And that one, I say it from the heart. Right Honorable Speaker, this year we had 3 billion allocated, but under your leadership, we have got back all the money, the 16 billion. Thank you so much for the special grant. And that special grant is all over the country. I urge all members of Parliament to participate in the national and some of the district level commemoration of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities. Right Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I conclude with an appeal to always support and mobilize resources for persons with disabilities to address their unique disadvantages and enhance their meaningful inclusion in the development agenda. And I also want to take this opportunity to invite all of you to come to Mbarara and see the wonders of the disabled people in Uganda. Thank you so much. I beg to submit.
Thank you so much, Helen, and thank you for the information. And this statement is largely informative and is self-explanatory. Very self-explanatory, and we want to thank you so much for supporting people with a disability. And these are very important persons in our lives. We want to thank government for always having time for them, and Parliament will continue supporting where we can. If you need more than 3 billion, just put it in the budget. We shall support you. Tom, you want to discuss this report? Okay. Huh? I have said it is informative. Tom, you never know, Tom has something to say.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity. And thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We always say disability is not inability. Yes. These people are cobblers, they are tailors, they are sustainers. They help us a lot in our day-to-day activities. Congratulations, and thank you, and even the members of Parliament, legislating for the Republic of Uganda. Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker.
For your information, they are not only shoe shiners. The deputy director legal of Parliament is somebody with a disability, can't even walk. And we made sure for us to have an inclusion of persons with a disability, we had to give the gentleman that high job of a director legal. Yes, my chair.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. You have said it all. But I have one proposal to government on the issue of children with multiple disabilities. You give back to a child who cannot sit, who cannot talk, and who cannot even hear, which makes most of the parents to abandon their jobs and therefore affecting their capacity to care for these children. I wish that my government takes it up, because there are not too many, and provide care, special care for these children. Others can be mainstream, but this one with multiple disabilities, I feel should be taken care of. Then two, issues of accessibility. Right Honorable Speaker and colleagues, we want to thank this government. We want to thank Parliament. You have done it very well. But up to date, there are certain structures which do not have provision for accessibility. I feel action should be taken against the owners of structures which do not have roads. We struggle to limp, but what about those who are crawling? Therefore, I pray that this is the time to act to ensure that all the structures in Uganda should be having ramps, because we live with our people, we live in every community. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Not you. I'm only giving people with a disability.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Unless you show me what is disabled.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to speak about two issues. One is the issue of assistive devices, which means wheelchairs, white canes, hearing aids. Every member in this parliament thinks the five of us have those things, but we don't have them. Right, Honorable Speaker, there was a workshop in Mulago that was funded by government many years ago that used to produce those items. It has since died. And for us to deny people wheelchairs, crutches, is to deny them legs. Right, Honorable Speaker, if I don't have my crutch, you will never see me in this parliament. I can't do my job. While we thank government for all the efforts, the special grant, the PDM, but how will a person with disability without a wheelchair or a crutch or a white cane go to those meetings where they're supposed to access the funds? Secondly, Right Honorable Speaker, is about education. The only thing that can liberate a person with disability is education. Right Honorable Speaker, members here can testify that most of the schools in our districts have no facilities for children with disabilities. Instead of going up in the promotion of rights of persons with disabilities, Right Honorable Speaker, the country is going low. Madam Speaker, you have the power to direct whoever you have to direct, that all schools in this country, at least one school per district, must be accessible to children with disabilities. Otherwise, we are raising a generation of people with disabilities who are not educated, who will later become a big burden to the country. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, and let that come as a motion. Gender, we need that motion in place to be brought, and we give an instruction to all schools, irrespective of whether they are government or private. If they cannot abide by what we are saying, then we will not allow them to operate. Mpindi, Gender, you want to say something? You'll say it last. Let's have Mpindi.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I first wanted to correct the record that we are not receiving 3 billion. In the budget, they had actually budgeted for 3 billion. And when we came to your office, you helped us and we went back to 14 point something billion. And we want to 16 billion. We want to thank you for that. But Right Honorable Speaker.
And all the persons who are disabled in this parliament have aids, who are paid by parliament.
But Right Honorable Speaker, we have a serious issue about the Ministry of Gender. We have our land for persons with disability in Reza, but we have received information that the Minister of Gender is conniving with some mafias to sell that land. And we would like, Right Honorable Speaker, to request the Minister of Gender to give a detailed report about the Reza land, which is going any time, and that is a serious issue.
Honorable Minister of Gender, is it true that you're conniving with mafias?
Madam Speaker, if you allow me to add something before the minister responds.
Yes.
I want to add on to what Honorable Mpindi is saying about the land in Lueza. There are 2 letters that we have access to. One letter is purportedly written by the President, directing the Minister of Gender to give 4 acres of that land to an investor by the name of Great Lakes Refinery Gold Refinery.
The land of disability, of lame people.
Yes. Right, Honorable Speaker, the letter was written on the 13th of June, the letter by the President apparently, and the letter directing the Minister of Lands is dated 23rd. So first of all, we have problems with the dates because they are contradicting. It looks like the minister wrote before she got the directive from the president, but then she refers to the directive of the president. Right, Honorable Speaker, apart from that, the purported letter by the president talks about only 4 acres to that investor. However, the letter by the Minister of Gender goes ahead to allocate more land of the Lueza land for people with disabilities to other companies, including a company that is supposed to build accommodation for the GROW project. Right, Honorable Speaker, we're asking ourselves, since when did we start building accommodation for projects of government? Right, Honorable Speaker, it's not only the land in Lueza. There seems to be a group of people who are after pieces of land that belong to people with disabilities. We have the same problem in Mbale. We have the same problem in Naguru. We have the same problem in Jinja and here in Kampala. Right, Honorable Speaker, we would like to ask you, to ask the Prime Minister and her ministers to bring us clarity on where those people with disabilities who have lived on those pieces of land all their lives, somewhere there in the 50s, in the 60s. What is the plan? If government is giving out this land to investors, we need to know where our people are going, Madam Speaker. So we want a comprehensive report on all those pieces of land, but more especially the one of Lueza, because that we have letters that the Minister of Gender has already directed the Minister of Lands to start dividing that land. And we got this information from the people with disabilities who live on that piece of land. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable, we had directed the Minister of Lands not to give out any government land. I don't know if that directive was implemented. But secondly, Madam Gender, why do you want to steal our land?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I want to thank the colleagues, especially my fellow members of Parliament, who have brought this issue. I want to say, as a minister in charge of disability, I have no copy of letters, even written to me about the land. Yes, neither the one of the president, nor the one the minister is directing people to get the land, my senior minister. So I would think that the senior minister and the senior minister of lands should really brief the House.
So can we have a report on the issue of the land on Tuesday on this floor?
Okay, right, Honorable Speaker, I think both the Minister of Land, who is in charge of the distribution under Uganda Land Commission, and the Minister of Gender,
Yes,
maybe they will give us a better portion. I will take the message.
Government.
Thank you.
Let government make a commitment. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. We also have the PWDs have land in Old Tax Park. We don't know how far, because they used to have issues. Some people wanted to grab it. So I don't know how Haji Mumali has because he used to fight a lot for that land. So maybe
give us the status of all land belonging to disability. Yes, government.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I undertake to notify officially in writing the 2 ministers to come and give the status of all land belonging to the disability movement in Uganda by Tuesday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Eva, you want to say something?
Thank you so much, Honorable Minister. Honorable Speaker. I want to thank the Honorable Minister for her great statement. And when I look at the theme of the day, innovation innovation for the people with disabilities. And now that you, Honorable Speaker, has promised to add them more money, I would implore the minister to have something like an incubator for people with disabilities. They have great knowledge, but they don't have where to put that knowledge. If you have an incubator where all the disabled persons come, inform you what they can do better, and you help them have that knowledge or that innovation that they have in this country would have helped people with disabilities.
Thank you,
ma'am.
Next item, agenda. Mbarara, that is hosting, then agenda. Buhejo, are you hosting? I want us to discuss the issues of disabilities on Tuesday once we have the report of the land. Let's first hear from Mbarara, who is the hosting.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker, for the opportunity. Congratulations about our twins. Right Honorable Speaker, this is a commemoration day, but I wish to request that while the commemoration takes place, the ministry comes with something that is left in the memory of the people with the disabilities in Mbarara district. Something that, for example, we have gone to a school and we have left this school designated as accessible for people with disabilities. And then on that day, I'm very sure very many people with disabilities who have lacked facilities will throng the occasion. Are they prepared for these people with wheelchairs, with walking sticks, and so on? Let us not only commemorate, but let us plan to serve the people that will be on that occasion. Thank you. And the date has not been given to us. Third. Okay, thank you. And I take this opportunity to invite all our honorable members of parliament to Mbarara on 3rd. Yes.
On the third, it is on third.
Third, yes.
Agenda.
To come
Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, we shall be there.
I want to add my voice onto all the honorable members and the country that celebrated with you the coming and the safe landing of our twins. Congratulations, Right Honorable Speaker. Right Honorable Speaker, I would like to stand and even congratulate the people with disabilities upon the commemoration coming, and to also thank the government of Uganda for ensuring that we celebrate this every year. I thank the Honorable Minister who has delivered a very strong statement on the celebrations for older persons on 3rd December. The people with disabilities. Madam Speaker, I want to start by thanking Pastor Francis of Gaba Community Church, who has assisted this country. He's in a wheelchair himself, but he has decided to make a ministry of distributing wheelchairs throughout this country, Madam Speaker. I think on this day, we need to celebrate him, and if there was a medal, Madam Speaker, he would take that medal. He has just come from my district to distribute 220 wheelchairs, Madam Speaker. He distributes even more than that. Madam Speaker, we need to celebrate him. So secondly, Madam Speaker, assistive devices have become a challenge to the people with disabilities. Some have even resorted to the Katwe devices. I don't want to really undermine the Katwe devices, but some of them are really substandard. And they have just had to go for them because that's what they can afford. We would want this country to commit itself to the people with disabilities, because the theme is we are supposed to fulfill the promises of the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. They are very specific. Let's be true to the people with disabilities. Madam Speaker, controlling and containing disability has been a message from His Excellency. But with these border accidents every day,
with people who have now gone back to not coming for immunization against polio. In my district, when they were distributing wheelchairs, 2/3 of the disabled people were children. And we are wondering whether people still are taking their children for polio immunization and other immunizations. We need to control the numbers of disabled people in this country. Madam Speaker, this parliament, when we were processing the budget for this very year running, we put a tax on Pampers. Madam Speaker, I have got to learn that people who live with hydrocephalus and spina bifida live on Pampers. Those who are not pampered, they are catheterized from birth to death. They are on Pampers from birth to death. Even older persons are using these Pampers. And so, Madam Speaker, I would like to really call on your indulgence that possibly we have a discussion very soon to rescind the tax on these Pampers, Madam Speaker. And the legal aid bill, Madam Speaker, was returned, but I pray that we expedite it so that these people with disabilities can get redress, responsive justice, not only access to justice, but responsive justice that will assist them to sort the court issues. Madam Speaker, I don't want to challenge your ruling on a statement on the land at Lueza. But Madam Speaker, even Naguru land for children is under grab. Even Ginger land for older persons is under grab. Basically, most of the land belonging to Ministry of Gender is being grabbed, Madam Speaker. By the very people
who being grabbed by who?
By those who should protect us. Madam Speaker,
Who are those ones?
I request that the statement is comprehensive.
Chair.
Can we get a select committee, Madam Speaker? And we shall give
I first need a statement.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
On the land which is being grabbed.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I am aware even the land.
Even Kazi land is going.
For scouts is being grabbed.
Yes, right.
So can we have a statement on that? So that we know who is that grabber.
Thank you very much, Right Honorable Speaker. We need that statement, Madam Speaker.
Mm.
I want to thank you and to congratulate all people with disabilities upon the commemoration of their day.
Thank you. Next item. Thank you.
Item 5.
I wish you well on that day. And once more, congratulations. And as Parliament of Uganda will continue supporting persons with disability. Thank you.
Item 5, Bill's second reading, the Explosives Bill 2023.
Honorable members, the Explosive Bill 2023 was read for the first time on 15th August 2023 and referred to the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs. The committee considered the bill and is ready to report. I now invite the Honorable Minister to move a motion for the second reading of the bill. Honorable Minister of Internal Affairs. Feta, Honorable Feta.
Right, Honorable Speaker and honorable members, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Explosives Bill 2023 be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Is it seconded? Seconded by Government Chief Whip, Minister of Information, Finance, Attorney General, the Vice Chair of Defense, Chair Defense, Abeja, the General Kavuma, the General behind General Mujira, by the whole house. Even both, Honorable both, you come and sit here. I was missing you. By all the ministers. This is the only bill I've seen supported by everybody. Other than acting law. Honorable, would you love to speak a little about your bill?
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the bill seeks to ensure more effective and improved regulation of the manufacture, storage, safe transportation, import and export, and use of explosives in Uganda. And also to ensure that we promote safety and security regarding explosives in this country.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I now want to invite the minister, the chairperson of the committee, to present a brief report. Just go to the observations, recommendations.
Thank you. Right Honorable Speaker, I first take the pleasure to join the rest and congratulate you, and on behalf of my constituency, Nyabushozi and Ankole, on you becoming a Nyenabarongo. Most welcome to the club.
By the way, you sent me cows for the Balongo.
Yes, I did. And welcome to the club. Right Honorable Speaker, I wish to lay on table minutes of the meetings of the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs held on 10th and other dates as the committee processed this bill.
Please
I wish to lay. Right Honorable Speaker, the report of this was uploaded. It's now almost 3 weeks. I am confident that members have read and internalized. Permit me, Right Honorable Speaker and honorable colleagues, to report briefly that the Committee on Defense and Internal Affairs considered the explosives bill that was read for the first time on Tuesday, 15th August 2023, and referred to the committee pursuant to Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure. The committee has considered the bill in consultation with various stakeholders and now report under Rule 129 of the Rules of Procedure. The background has clearly been captured by the minister. I do not need to go into that. The object of the bill, Right Honorable Speaker, seeks to repeal the Explosives Act Cap 298, provide for establishment of the National Explosives Committee and the designation of the Chief Explosives Inspector, provide for restrictions of the manufacture, storage, use, dealing, import, export, and transportation of explosives. E, provide for safety and precaution measures in the use and handling of explosives and related matters. Right Honorable Speaker, there were, of course, defects in the existing law, hence the new law. The methodology we did is that the clerk wrote to the public, a public advert in newspapers, and we invited people to come and present memoranda, physical and written memoranda. However, also further, we interacted with the Ministry of Internal Affairs, Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs, Ministry of Energy, Energy and Mineral Development, the Uganda Revenue Authority, the Uganda Law Reform Commission, National Enterprises Corporation, Atomic Energy Council of Uganda, Kirembe Mines Limited, Uganda Hotel Owners Association. The committee further received and reviewed written memoranda from the following: Uganda National Roads Authority and Fireworks Dealers Association of Uganda. We reviewed the relevant documents, including all the relevant laws and Harrisburg Laws of England, 4th edition, volume 34, including NEMA Environmental Impact Assessment Study Report. We reviewed international instruments, including but not limited to the explosive substances of the International Labour Organization and the Charter of United Nations. Permit me, Right Honorable Speaker, to now give the salient observations on the bill. The Ministry of Defense and Internal Affairs informed the committee that an explosive is a substance that, when subjected to stimuli undergoes a violent chemical decomposition with the evolution of heat and gas. The committee established that Chapter 15 of the Explosive Substance of International Labour Organization defines an explosive as a solid or liquid substance or a mixture of substances in which in itself is capable of chemical reaction producing gas. The committee established that explosives are susceptible materials easily ignited by small heat, impact, friction, and electrostatic stimuli. Ministry of Defense and Veterans Affairs further informed the committee that these commercial explosives are used extensively in construction, mining, petroleum exploration, and the attainment and entertainment industry. However, because of their intrinsic flammable and explosive nature, they have potential safety risks in production, transportation, storage, and use. The committee has studied the bill and makes specific and salient observations as enumerated below. 6.1, interpretation clause, we are providing an improvement. And we recommend, Right Honorable Speaker and their colleagues, that the committee, that the interpretation clause should be amended to have a definition of a manufacturing plant and mental illness. Application of the Act, we recommend, Right Honorable Speaker, that the interpretation, that the importation, exportation, storage, use, and transportation of explosives for the warfare is done in compliance with the provisions of the UPDF and Uganda Police Act. On manufacture of explosives, Right Honorable Speaker, we recommend that Clause 14 be amended to grant the minister discretion to determine the government participating interest at the time of licensing instead of prescribing the quantum of government participation as proposed in the bill. On regulating of blasting activities, Right Honorable Speaker, we recommend that, and we propose that a provision to cover the business of quarry blasting explosives and spell out under what conditions should the blasting of explosives be conducted. On a duty of care and compensation, Right Honorable Speaker, we went an extra mile. We looked at the High Court and Supreme Court decisions. We looked at and observed that the management and control of explosives require particular attention to the safety and protection of life. Whereas Clause 41 imposes a duty of care and penalties for explosives, misuse on any person conducting activities including involving explosives, there is no provision for compensation to the affected party. The committee, Right Honorable Speaker, deems it prudent that the affected person or community members who suffer a loss due to recklessness and negligence should be compensated by a person responsible for such a loss. And this is espoused in Mukwasi General Contractors Limited versus Living Words Assembly Limited and two others, civil suit number 230 of 2013, where High Court considered and the scholars for guidance and cited and wished to court that a person who disturbs another person in his legitimate enjoyment of his property cannot justify that disturbance as being the natural result of the exercise of his own rights of enjoyment. If he exercises his rights in an excessive and extravagant manner. Right Honorable Speaker, when you look at the Halsbury's Laws of England, it also expounds on that. We recommend, therefore, that upon conviction by court, compensation of affected parties for reckless and negligent use of explosives be provided for in the bill. In conclusion, Right Honorable Speaker, the repeal of Explosives Act 298 was overdue. However, the bill introduced requires critical consideration so that the standards already set by the current act are improved to address the emerging challenges. The committee reviewed the bill and made proposals deemed fit to achieve the set objectives. The committee recommends that the bill be considered for second reading subject to proposed amendments attached hereto and any other modifications the House may propose and approve. Right Honorable Speaker, I beg to report.
Thank you so much, Chair, for the report. And the report is direct. Yes.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I would like to thank the Honorable Chairperson and the committee for the job well done. Of course, regulation regarding the movement and usage of explosives is quite important. We are particularly interested in the usage in areas that are near residential areas. People have complained about quarries being set up in areas that are near residential areas. And this regulatory policy, I think, is meant to protect persons that are residing in these areas, and we want more powers given to those inspectors to regularly visit the sites of those people carrying out those duties, so that we protect the lives of people, but also the issue of disturbance. You remember the complaints that emanated well long ago from the people of Muyenga that they couldn't sleep because of the nature of explosives that were being used. Scientists also talked about the side effects on women pregnancies, etc., and expectant mothers on the effect of using certain nature of explosives. So this is a welcome bill, and I would like to say that you have our support. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable.
Thank you very much. I would like to support the bill, but just in addition to what my colleague has said, the bill is seeking to protect people who may be affected by blasting activities. I have not seen in the bill proposals on how to deal with protection of animals residing in protected areas. You know, we rely a lot on our wildlife. So if someone went into Karamoja near Kidepo National Park, even though there could be no residents around, but does massive blast, it could actually endanger the wildlife. The same could happen anywhere. So I would like to know, Chair, from your discussions, whether this provision of protection could be expounded to cater for national protected areas, particularly where we have sensitive wildlife. I beg to submit.
Do you have a clause to that effect?
Right, Honorable Speaker, I am happy that Honorable Kateshumba actually refers to an area as a protected area. You therefore cannot have a quarry in a protected area. So we did not have to delve into that. We thought it was frivolous. Thank
you. Just a minute before. Honorable
Right Honorable Speaker, given the report which has been given, laid before us, as no minority, what the members are trying to intervene would be probably be
introducing something in the House which is against the law.
So if there would be any interventions, it would be proper that we proceed to the next level, then we can look at the amendments. This is non-controversial bill. It should have been passed yesterday.
Okay,
Most obliged.
thank you. Honorable Kachumbala.
Thank you, Right Honorable. I would like to strongly thank the committee and the ministry concerned for bringing this bill. You know, I'm from Kachumbala, which is a very, very endangered species from these explosions. We are born of a lot of icebergs, which constitute a lot of good material for construction. So a lot of contractors are going to set up, already we have 3 blasting sites, quarries, and with the existing icebergs, more are going to come to Kachumbala. But I saw in your report in the bill, protecting the lives of people. You'll help me and cite for me what protects the properties of people. Houses, boreholes, and all other properties of our people.
We actually have a church next to a rock which is bound to be.
Yes, so property is really badly endangered in our place. So shelter, we are going to have problems, and I wish the bill could really fix the blasters seriously. I beg to move.
Thank you. Katesh, you are not finished?
Right Honorable Speaker, the chairperson perhaps did not get my point, because I'm not talking about blasting activities in protected areas. I'm talking about blasting activities that could be established surrounding the protected areas. If you look at, for example, the Wind Impenetrable National Park, where we have mountain gorillas. Mountain gorillas are the Rolls Royce of tourism. You could actually have a blast nearby the protected area. And if you are not regulated, you could actually endanger the wildlife of this country. And that's why I would like to know whether consideration has been made to extend that protection to such areas, even though you are not within the protected area, but considering the proximity, you could actually cause a massive problem for this country. I beg to submit.
Honorable Katesh, I want us to look at clause 5 of the bill and clause 6. And when you look at clause 6, it looks at the composition of the members in the committee, and that could be covered under that. Yes, AJ.
Thank you, Right Honorable Speaker. I wanted to add to your voice in response to Honorable Katesh Fumba's concerns. The object of the bill, among others, is to provide for the restrictions on the manufacture, storage, and use. It means that you cannot go blasting anywhere, anyhow, without authorization. There are environmental concerns. There are several other aspects to be considered. So even if it is a protected area, you still need to be authorized to do the blasting.
Yes. Thank you so much, honorable members. We have virtually, we have 72 members, and physically, we have 122. I now put a question that explosive bill 2023 be read for the second time. Those in favor say under control and nay. The ayes have it.
The Explosives Bill 2023, Bills Committee stage. Clause 1.
I put a question that clause 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor stand the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2.
Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Chair, clause 2 deals with interpretation. The clause 2 is amended A in the definition of the word explosive by substituting for paragraph A the following: a substance or a mixture of substances in a solid, liquid, or gaseous state which is capable of producing an explosion. B, by inserting the following definition in the appropriate order: explosives factory, which means premises licensed to manufacture authorized explosives under section 14. Explosives shop, which means premises licensed for dealing or trading in authorized explosives under section 20. Mental illness has the meaning assigned to it under the Mental Health Act of 2014. Right Honorable Chair, justification for this definition of explosives is amended to cater for all states that an explosive may appear. The bill provides restrictions in establishing an explosive factory, yet it does not define what amounts to an establishment known as explosives factory. Provide a working definition for the phrase explosives shop. The substitution of the word unsound mind with mental illness is to conform to the Mental Health Act of 2014. I beg to report.
Minister.
Honorable Speaker, honorable members, the amendments are enriching and I would concur with them.
Thank you, AJ.
Honorable Chair, I concede to the amendments.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 2 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 2 as
I
amended.
put a question that clause 2 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 3 deals with application. Clause 3 is amended by substituting for subclause 2 the following: for the avoidance of doubt, this act does not apply to the importation, exportation, storage, manufacture, or transportation of explosives used in warfare by a security agency in execution of its mandate conferred by an act of parliament. Justification for this: to empower security agencies to import, export, store, manufacture, or transport explosives used in warfare. Subclause 2B is proposed for deletion since it is redundant, aware that importation, exportation, use, manufacture, or transportation of explosives by multinational or international defense forces or policing agencies is governed by international law. I beg to.
Minister.
I concur, Right Honorable Speaker.
Attorney General.
We agree with the committee proposal.
I put a question that clause 3 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 3 as amended.
I put a question that clause 3 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 4.
I put a question that clause 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 5.
I put a question that clause 5 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 6.
I put a question that clause 6 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 7.
I put a question that clause 7 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 8 deals with the removal of member of the committee. Clause 8 is amended in subclause 2 by A, inserting immediately after the word minister, the words on recommendation of the committee, and B, by substituting for paragraphs A and C the following. A is suffering from a mental illness which renders him or her incapable of performing the duties of his or her office. C, declared bankrupt. Justification for this is to confirm the provision to the conform, I beg your pardon, the provision to the Mental Health Act of 2018 that substituted the use of the words unsound mind with mental illness, and to harmonize the provision with the Insolvency Act of 2018. I beg to move.
Minister.
These are useful additions. I concur, Right Honorable Speaker.
Thank you. AG.
I concur, Right Honorable.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 8 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 8 as amended.
I put a question that clause 8 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 9.
I put a question that clause 9 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 10.
I put a question that clause 10 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 11.
I put a question that clause 11 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 12 deals with the power of Chief Explosives Inspector. Clause 12 is amended by inserting immediately after subclause 1 the following. Where the Chief Explosives Inspector exercises any of the powers under subsection 1, the Chief Explosives Inspector shall, within 5 days, file a report to the committee. A justification for this, Right Honorable Chair, is to enable the committee effectively supervise the exercise of the powers by the Chief Explosives Inspector. Insertion of a new clause.
Honorable, that is after.
Okay, I beg to report.
Honorable Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, that improvement is made to check arbitrary use of the powers of the inspector, so I concur with the improvement.
Thank you. Attorney General.
I concur with the committee position.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 12 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 12 as amended.
I put a question that clause 12 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
New clause.
New clause.
Right Honorable Chair, the committee proposes to insert a new clause immediately after clause 12. The following. Vacation of office by Chief Explosives Inspector. 1. The Chief Explosives Inspector may resign his or her office in writing under his or her hand addressed to the minister, and the resignation shall take effect from the date of receipt of the letter of resignation by the minister. 2. The Chief Explosives Inspector may be removed from office by the minister if he or she A, is suffering from a mental illness which renders him or her incapable of performing the duties of his or her office. B, declared bankrupt. C, convicted of an offense involving fraud or dishonesty. Or D, is convicted of an offense punishable by more than 3 months imprisonment. The justification for this, Right Honorable Chair, is to make provision for the vacation from office by Chief Explosives Inspector. I beg to move.
Minister.
Right Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I concur with the addition.
AG.
Right Honorable Speaker, I concur.
I put a question that the proposed new clause stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 13.
I put a question that clause 13 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 14.
14.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 14 deals with establishment of explosive factory. Clause 14 is amended by A, deleting the words manufacturing plant, and thereafter, wherever the words appear in the bill, and B, by substituting for subclause 2 the following: a person shall not be licensed to establish or operate an explosives factory unless the person has granted to government a participating interest in the explosives plant, as the minister may, by statutory instrument, prescribe. The justification for this one is deletion of the words manufacturing plant is to achieve clarity, since the term explosives factory includes a manufacturing plant. 2, to grant the minister discretion to determine the government participating interest at the time of licensing, instead of prescribing the quantum of government participation as proposed in the bill. I beg to move.
Minister, yes.
I would seek clarification on participating interest. What level is it going to be? Is it just going to be by shaking hands with the manufacturer and say we participated? If it's shares, up to what extent? To what extent is the participating interest? So that we don't play with it in a very negligible standards.
Eji, let's first get Katesh, then we get you to respond to all.
Further clarification, the definition of participating interest, what are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to achieve economic participating interest or control, exercising control? I thought the intention is to exercise control and oversight to ensure that these explosive factories do not endanger the national security. So when we talk of participating interest, what does it mean? Does it mean that you'll have shares and that is what you have eyes off? We need to be clear so that we achieve the purpose for which this provision is trying to get.
Does the bill define what a participating interest is?
Madam Chair, the bill does not specifically define what participating interest is. And clause 2 that the committee seeks to delete, Madam Chair, our position as Attorney General is that clause 2 should be maintained. The clause that the committee seeks to delete, if I should read, states that a person shall not be licensed to establish or operate an explosives an explosives factory or manufacturing plant unless the explosives factory or manufacturing plant is owned by a government entity or partly owned by a government entity, with the government entity having the majority shares and a controlling interest. So this should answer the issue of participating interest.
So you're not agreeing with the committee?
Our position is that we maintain subclause 2.
Not substituting it.
Yes, not to delete it.
Chair? And I think that is better.
Right, Honorable Chair and honorable colleagues, we debated this clause. Majority, if not all, were to the effect that if we legalize this monopoly, would be running counter to the provisions of the Constitution and the right to do business. If, however, that is what the committee proposes,
what you're replacing is saying a person shall not be licensed to establish or operate an explosive factory or manufacturing plant unless the explosives explosives factory or manufacturing plant is owned by government entity or partly owned by government entity, which the government entity having the majority shares and controlling shares, I mean controlling interest. So what's wrong with that? Yes, Attorney General, you're very okay. I
want to justify the position of the Attorney General's chambers. Government should have a majority shares in an explosives factory for purposes of preventing any abuse of explosives by terrorists. Further, the abuse of commercial explosives may threaten the security of the country, hence the need for government to have a full control interest in the explosives factory.
Honorable members, and when you look at A, by deleting the words manufacturing plant, and thereafter, wherever the word appears is in the bill. Now, when you look at the title of that part 3, it's talking about manufacture of authorized explosives. So why are you deleting this manufacturing plant? Because the heading is manufacturing plant. So why are you deleting it in part A?
Right Honorable Chair, I'm happy that we are back on the plenary, and if in the...
No, we did not get out of plenary.
Yeah. Well, at committee stage, considering this, what I'm saying, the committee, if I may start with the Attorney General's, we were of the view that the current status of affairs, government does not have controlling interest in any explosives factory in the country at the moment. Yes, there is.
What about Luera? Luera Industries?
The status of Luera Industries is that, which we did benchmark on, the interest and the intention of government is to have a controlling interest, but they are yet to achieve. Absolutely.
That's why we need a law, and we are saying we should have controlling interest. Can I hear from your minister? Can I hear from your minister first?
Okay, the minister, then I'll give my last position.
What we have, Right Honorable Speaker, now is a de facto situation where Luero Industries has monopoly, and what we are seeking under this bill is to make that controlling interest legal. We only now have an executive order from the president.
We also want...
Speaker and colleagues, explosives are not ordinary tradable items. World over, because of information, we have people who are endangering security. They have information of the sheriff, and they can get raw materials and manufacture explosive weapons that can endanger a country. This is not something we should play around with. This is where we should not dilute this provision. We must have government take control, because who are you making these explosives for? It should be government. So I want to support the AG that we should restore the original provision, because these are not just goods you are going to sell. Otherwise, we are opening up challenges to national security.
Let's first hear from General Mujira.
Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Speaker. Maybe also not to leave UPDF behind in congratulating you upon becoming an Arongo.
Thank you.
Right Honorable Speaker, I concur with the position of the Attorney General, because when we are talking about the explosives bill, we are basically talking about national security.
Yes.
I saw the provision in the Constitution, the Article 42, which is being referred to. That article deals with economic rights. They are making reference to investments, to business, but this is not a question of business, it's not investment. And I believe, Right Honorable Speaker, This is the very reason you referred this matter to the Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs and not to the Committee of Trade. So these are important matters. I had an opportunity of briefing the committee. I gave them examples where ammonium nitrate has been used to cause explosions, cause devastating attacks in the world. Giving an example, the World Trade Center of New York in 1993, this was just ammonium nitrate that we use as a primary raw material for the production of explosives. The Oslo bombings of 2011, the 2002 Paris bombings, the use by the ADF between 97 and 02 here in Uganda. This was just ammonium nitrate. Recently, Right Honorable Speaker, here the two bombs, it was confirmed by the police that the substances used were ammonium nitrate, which we use at Royal Industries for production of explosives. So, Right Honorable Speaker, I think I beg really this House to know that what we are handling now should be part and parcel of our national counterterrorism strategy, and this clause should be left as it is. I beg to submit.
General, I want to thank you so much for the free lecture. And I mean, we don't have that knowledge really. Can you consider and we move on?
Right Honorable Chair, having listened to, yes, I, on behalf of Committee of Defense and Internal Affairs, concede to this.
For you concede the whole clause 14. The whole, no. It is, has to be on, Honorable Madam, the Chair, I want it, the whole clause 14. No amendment in clause 14.
Right Honorable Chair, I concede on all and we revert to our original text.
Thank you. I put a question that clause 14 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, and to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 15.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 15 deals with application for a license to establish explosives factory. Clause 14 is amended in subclause 2.
Clause 15?
Clause 15 is amended, I beg your pardon, in subclause 2 by substituting for paragraph C the following: proof of payment of fees. And justification for this is to require the applicant to pay fees and attach evidence of payment to accompany the application. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister.
I concur, Right Honorable Speaker.
AG.
I concede.
I put a question that clause 15 be amended as proposed. Those in favor sign the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 15 as amended.
I put a question that clause 15 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor sign the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 16.
I put a question that clause 16 stands part of the bill. Those in favor sign the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 17.
I put a question, Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 17 deals with application for a license to manufacture explosives. 17 is amended in subclause 2. No. Yes. By substituting for paragraph C the following: proof of payment of fees. Justification to require the applicant to pay fees and attach evidence of payment to accompany the application. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister.
Okay, Right Honorable Speaker.
AG.
I concede.
I put a question that clause 17 be amended as proposed. Those in favor stand the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 17 as amended.
I put a question that clause 17 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor stand the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 18.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 18 deals with the establishing of explosives magazine. 18 is amended in subclause 3 by substituting for the words 50,000 currency points the words 500,000 currency points. Justification for this is to make the provision for more deterrent, since the storage, establishment, or operation of explosives magazine in contravention of safety standards poses a danger to the public. I beg to move.
Minister.
Concur, Right Honorable Speaker, it makes the punishment more stringent.
AG.
Alioni seems to enjoy the word concede, so I concur right now.
I put a question that clause 18 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 18 as amended.
I put a question that clause 18 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 19.
Chair 19.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 19 deals with application for a license to establish explosives. Yes, magazine. Clause 19 is amended in subclause 2 by substituting for paragraph B the following: proof of payment of fees and justification to require the applicant to pay fees and attach evidence of payment to accompany the application. I beg to move.
Minister.
I concur.
AG.
I agree.
I put a question that clause 19 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 19 as amended.
I put a question that clause 19 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 20.
20, Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 20 dealing in authorized explosives. 20 is amended in subclause 2 by substituting for paragraph C the following: proof of payment. Justification again is to require the applicant to pay fees and attach evidence of payment to accompany the application. I beg to move.
Minister. Yes, Dr. Boka.
Yeah, Madam Chairperson, I wish to seek for clarification on the use of the term authorized explosives. Are there unauthorized explosives? Thank you.
Right Honorable, the bill creates, grants power to authorize explosives to be used, but there are explosives that may not be used. For example, a nuclear, we know it is an explosive, but we do not see it used anywhere, anyhow. So you cannot necessarily deploy it simply because you seek to be authorized to use nuclear.
Actually, that's one of the objectives of the bill, to ensure that we have authorized access. Yes, I like you people who all run out, rest, do whatever, and come back. Yes. You see why the mic has refused?
Madam Chair, I wanted to seek guidance. The bill is creating a committee, or is setting up a committee, but most of the powers are given to the minister, like applying for licenses and all that. Everything that is set to the minister. Why don't we apply to the committee?
You know, the problem is you've come late. You've come late, and there is no law that we made in this house where powers are given by the committee. Who is the committee? Huh? I put a question on.
Madam Chair, clause 5 is creating an explosives committee.
Honorable, when you look at clause 20, You're taking us to 5 and 6. You want to recommit?
No.
I
saying,
want to refer you to clause 20. That is any other document as the minister may prescribe by regulations. 3, it says the minister may by regulations prescribe the procedure and requirements for the application of the dealer license. You can recommit. Clause 20.
I'm not recommitting.
Minister, did you? Minister? Clause 20, Minister, you agreed?
I have reservations as will be elaborated by AG.
AG?
Right Honorable, the committee proposes deletion of subclause C. Subclause C says a certificate of good conduct of the applicant or its directors and shareholders in case of a company. So clause 20 is creating grounds for those dealing with explosives. One, they must also, when applying, they must attach a certificate of good conduct. A certificate of good conduct.
Are we together? Clause 20 was on the issue of the fees. Not so, Chair?
No, he wants the deletion of C, clause 20C. The
Clause
committee.
20 is amended by subclause 2 by substituting the paragraph for the
C.
paragraph C.
Yes.
The following: proof of payment of fees.
Yeah, and our position is that we maintain.
As it was.
Yes, subclause C. Yes.
Yes, you should have.
So
it
our
was D,
proposal-
not C.
Yes.
Our proposal is that we maintain C, but delete D.
D. Chair,
Yes.
you be on record and do and bring that.
Can I justify first?
No, what are you justifying?
I entirely agree with the learned Attorney General. The intention of the committee was not to delete C, but actually D for clarity's sake. And we have maintained exactly. Thank you.
Why don't you wait? You sit there. Are we now okay, Attorney General?
Yes, Right Honorable.
Okay, I put a question that clause 20 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 20 as amended.
I put a question that clause 20 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 21.
I put a question that clause 21 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 22.
I put a question that clause 22 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 23.
I put a question that clause 23 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 24.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 24 deals with the refusal to grant a license. Clause 24 is amended in A, subclause 1 by substituting the words fit and proper person, the word suitable. B, inserting immediately after the word after subclause 2 the following: a person aggrieved by the decision of the minister may, within 30 days from the date of receipt of the decision, seek redress from the court of competent jurisdiction. Justification for the two above: one is to achieve consistency in the use of word suitable, and two, to provide for remedy to the applicant when the minister refuses to grant license. I beg to move.
Don't we have an appeals process in this law? Why would one run to court be straight? Yes.
Right Honorable, we agree with the proposal of the committee to substitute the word fit and proper person with the word suitable, except that we disagree with the okay. However, the new insertion that seeking redress in court, that would now have it would take away the power of the minister to grant the license. One can only appeal to court for administrative orders as judicial review, where the process of granting or denying him the license was faulty. So we need to be careful not now to give authority to court to be the one to give the license. If you are dissatisfied with the power or the grant or denial by the minister, and yet you have met all the criteria, at most, court can give you damages. That is what happens under judicial review. But the power for grant of the license remains with the minister.
Yes, Chair.
We do not seek to usurp the powers of the minister, or in this case,
what you want court to do is to take over the powers of the minister, and once the minister is not satisfied with the person, whether he should be given a license or not, you want this person to go to court, and the court gives the license. That is wrong. How can court give license?
okay. In this case, I would want to hear from.
And remember, we are dealing with a specialized kind of.
In this case, I would want to hear from the minister and the learned attorney general for purposes of redress of an applicant, an investor, a business person who has applied and has been
denied. They apply for a judicial review?
Okay.
No, you don't have to put it in the law. It is an avenue that exists. Let's apply for a judicial review, and then you'll determine whether he is fit to get or not.
Madam Chair, just as a matter of what the chair is trying to say is that you can apply to court. Whatever orders you feel fit to apply for, that will be adjudged by court. That will be the jurisdiction of court. And the Land Attorney General knows that courts have unlimited jurisdiction over these matters. If they feel that the minister has served justice, they will uphold the decision of the minister. In any case, they can be free to award damages or issue any other order. But saying that someone cannot go to court as as recourse for this, I think.
We are not saying somebody cannot go to court. What we are saying, a court cannot give you a license.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I'm not saying anything contrary to what you're saying. I'm saying that should be, it's like we are legislating in anticipation.
It is discretionary.
It's discretionary. The orders of court are discretionary. So we should leave it to the courts of law.
I think what is being said is that you don't have to state it in the law, because I can go to court on anything. Unlike the High Court is a court of unlimited jurisdiction. So you don't have to put in the law that you go to court. But if somebody is aggrieved, he's always free. So it can just remain the way it was. It doesn't mean that you can't go to court if you are aggrieved.
This is very clear, and the Honorable Nsereko, it is about the grant of a license. So any remedies that you are seeking there, you are going to force, you are going to ask, you are going to preempt the minister's powers to grant a license. If this is done, it should not be done for this highly restricted area. But other remedies for irregular, procedural irregularities, that is a given under the Constitution. But when you put this clause here, you would in effect say, if you don't give me, I'm going to court, and the court will be the one to grant. And that is the matter that this parliament should protect and legislate against.
Yes, Martin.
Thank you, Right Honorable Chair. I'm looking at a scenario where the minister is biased with the investor. Let's look at that direction.
It's not tomatoes. You know, you're imputing improper motive on government. Yes.
Madam Chair, I believe that a minister cannot be biased in relation to government and how to protect the population. That's what I believe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm a member of the committee, and we looked at this clause very seriously. And we looked throughout the bill and found that there was no ground for appeal. That's why we say that at this level, then, if the minister does not grant, then one would move to court. But I would implore this House maybe to look at the recommendation, maybe to the committee. It falls back to the committee. But I find that actually there is need for appeal. In case you are not granted the license, there should be a ground under which a person may move to have his issues addressed. But if the House feels that we don't need this appeal mechanism, then I would implore my chair to concede. But that is the ground upon which the committee will reach.
That was a subcommittee of the Committee of the Whole House. Committee, can you now come? You can't subject us to that.
Madam Speaker. Right Honorable Chair, I concede.
Thank you.
This one,
I put a question that clause 24 be amended as proposed in clause 24A. Be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 24 as amended.
I put a question that clause 24 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. You can't even say, are you just here seated? The ayes have it.
Clause 25.
I put a question that clause 25 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 26.
I put a question that clause 26 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 27.
I put a question that clause 27 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 28.
Honorable Minister. Chair.
Clause 28, Right Honorable Chair, deals with prohibition of possession or use of explosives. Clause 28 is amended in subclause 3 by substituting for the words 50,000 currency points, the words 500,000 currency points. Justification is to make the provision more deterrent, since the possession, use, dealing, or sale of explosives without a license or permit has potential to endanger the public. I beg to move.
Minister.
Allowed, Right Honorable Speaker.
AG.
Agreed, Right Honorable Speaker.
I put a question that clause 28 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 28 as amended.
I put a question that clause 28 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say and the contrary nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 29.
29. Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 29 deals with application for permit to possess or use explosives. Clause 29 is amended in subclause 3 by substituting for paragraph D the following: proof of payment of fees and justification, require the applicant to pay fees and attach evidence of payment to accompany the application. I beg to move.
Honorable Minister.
Allowed.
AG.
Agreed, Right Honorable.
I put a question that clause 29 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 29 as amended.
I put a question that clause 29 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 30.
I put a question that clause 30 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 31.
Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 31 deals with prohibition of import and export explosives. 31 is amended in A, in subclauses 1 and 2 by substituting for the word qualified, the word suitable, and B, by substituting for the word chief explosives inspector, wherever the words appear in the provision, the word minister. Justification for this is to harmonize clause 31 with clauses 4, 16, 20, and 20, which recognize that the minister is the licensing authority for the manufacture, import, and export of explosives, and not the chief explosives inspector as proposed in clause 31. 2, to require, in accordance with clause 16, that a person who manufactures explosives must be licensed by the minister. I beg to move.
Minister. Yes.
Allowed, Right Honorable Speaker.
A consequence out of this amendment. I support the amendment, but I would like to ask the Attorney General, once this bill is passed, you have to make sure that you cause an amendment in the East African Community Customs Management Act that governs importation and exportation of goods. There is a schedule of prohibited imports, and it defines whom the authority is sought from. So as we make this provision, you have to make sure that you cause an amendment so that the officers that regulate this business use the right procedures. I beg to submit.
Is very right because the laws passed at Yala take precedence on the partner states.
Madam Chair, first, I agree with the position of the committee.
Yes.
Secondly, we shall take under advisement the proposal by Honorable Katesh and see how to handle it.
Yes. Yes, Tom, when the two have agreed.
Yes, Chair. Thank you. I would like to seek clarification about the use of fireworks.
After we'll give you.
Okay.
We'll give you.
Thank you.
I put a question that clause 31 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 31 as amended.
I put a question that clause 31 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it. 32.
Clause 32.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 32 deals with application for import or export permit. 32 is amended in clauses 1 and 2 by substituting for the words chief explosives inspector, the word minister. Justification to harmonize to harmonize clause 4, 16, and 20, which all recognize that the minister is the licensing authority for the manufacture, import, and export of explosives, and not the chief explosive inspector as proposed. I beg to move.
That is consequential from the previous one. Yes, Minister.
Agreed, Right Honorable Speaker.
AG.
It is prudent.
I put a question that clause 32 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. Let's have it.
Clause 32 as amended.
I put a question that clause 32 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 33.
I put a question that clause 33 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 34.
I put a question that clause 34 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 35.
35.
Right, Honorable Chair, clause 35 deals with blasting of explosives. 35 is substituted with the following. Blasting of explosives. A person shall not use explosives or a blasting material for purposes of blasting explosives unless the person has undergone training in a recognized institution and is in possession of a blasting permit issued by a chief explosives inspector or blasting certificate issued by the chief explosives inspector. A permit issued under subsection 1 shall not be transferable to an person. The minister shall, by the instrument, prescribe the procedures and requirements necessary for the grant of a blasting certificate and the issuance of blasting permit. The chief explosives inspector may, with the approval of the committee, issue guidelines and procedures for the blasting of explosives in order to ensure safety and security. The person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 50,000 currency points or imprisonment on a term not exceeding 10 years or both. Justification, Right Honorable Chair, is to merge 35 and 37 since they relate to the same subject matter, to require a person to undergo training by a recognized institution and to possess either a blasting permit, blasting or blasting certificate before blasting explosives. I beg to move.
Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. He's talking about recognized institution for explosives, but I'm aware that personally I'm not aware of any recognized institution in that area. Maybe you can clarify. If you mean the internal affairs as a ministry, let's get to know that.
Second, right, Chair, can we also get clarification on the curriculum?
Honorable members, when you look at the definition of a recognized institution, means an academic or a technical training institution approved by the minister to offer a course of study or training in handling explosives. And that is in the bill.
Chair, at the same time, minister, who is the minister in that context?
The minister responsible, internal affairs.
And where is the Minister of Education now in that context?
It is in the committee. Look at section. Look at 6, clause 6. Yes.
Madam Chair.
Anyway, can you answer your things? I'm not supposed.
Madam Chair, further clarification on what my colleague was talking about. Whereas we are talking about institutions, education institutions, how about the current situation, the modern one, where you don't need even to go to school to be able to make an explosive through AI, artificial intelligence? Yes, which brings everything on the floor to you, for you. Get this, get that, make an explosive.
Honorable member.
Is this one taking care of it as well?
Honorable member,
Thank you.
this is a business opportunity.
Chair, more
It
information.
is a business opportunity. I know Honorable Sereko wants to start one in Kampala here, a college for explosion. I am also aware that the late March Drogo had a certificate in what? Artillery from North Korea. But the bill defines what a recognized institution is. So I don't see any problem. Huh?
Chair,
Huh?
Chair,
information on acids, because I've not heard about acids, because they are also explosives. Where do they belong?
Assets?
Acid, Chair. Acid.
Not all acids are explosive. Not all of them. Not all of them. Yes, do you have something to say? Is what? You concur?
Yeah.
AG?
I concur, Right Honorable.
35. I put a question that clause 35 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 35 as
I
amended.
put a question that clause 35 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 36.
I put a question that clause 36 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 37.
Chair, deletion.
Right Honorable Chair, so clause 37, we propose that be deleted. Justification, consequential amendment arising from the merger of clause 35 with 37, since they relate to the same subject matter. I beg to move.
Minister.
Concur.
AG.
Agreed.
I put a question that clause 37 be deleted as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 38.
I put a question that clause 38 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 39.
I put a question that clause 39 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 40.
I put a question that clause 40 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 41.
41, Chair.
Right Honorable Chair, clause 41, 41, I beg your pardon, deals with the duty of care. Clause 31 is amended by inserting immediately after clause 2 the following. Court may, in addition to the penalty imposed under subsection 2, order the person convicted to pay compensation to the victim. Justification, the management, use and control of explosives require an extra care and attention to the safety, protection of life and property. The bill makes it an offense for any person to cause an explosion by which life or property is endangered. However, duty of care is a tortious act that calls for civil obligation, in which the breach calls for compensation or reinstating the person who has incurred loss in his or her former status. Punishing a person who has breached the duty of care leaves the victims without appropriate remedy. The proposed amendment is intended to reinstitute the person who has suffered loss in his or her original state due to negligence of the user or possessor of explosives.
Reinstitute.
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 Chair.
I beg, yes, reinstitute.
Chair, the way the amendment starts is already done. You are telling court may. I thought you put the law, then the court knows what to do. You are not going to tell court in the bill what to do. You put the law there, then the court will do what they are supposed to do.
How do you want it to be amended? Guide us.
Just start from where just start from in front there. Can you? Leave out court may. You remove their court may. Put the law there. Start from where the law starts. Not telling court what to do.
He's talking about 2. Read it as it was first.
A person contravenes subsection 1. Is that the one?
Yes.
A person contravenes subsection 1. A person who contravenes subsection 1 commits an offense and is liable on conviction to a fine not exceeding 50,000 currency points or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 10 years or both. Now, the addition, they are giving court the next step, that in addition to this, court may decide to order that you compensate the victim. No, you see, when you file a complaint at police, may I explain? Right, Honorable. Court is at liberty to convict and order you to pay a fine. But here they are saying, in addition to that, based on the facts of the case, based on how much damage has been explained and proved before court may order you pay compensation.
To the affected person.
Yes, to the convicted, to the affected person. So you, the convict, in addition to imprisonment or in addition to the fine, you also pay compensation. That's the purpose of this.
Then
clause.
you specify how much.
You can't. It's discretionary. Huh? You can't specify because you don't know the damage. Yes, it depends on the damage. So as amended by the AG,
we maintain the proposal of the committee because court is given leverage to decide. So court may, based on the facts of each case, either simply imprison you and ask you to pay damages, a fine, or in addition to imprisonment, ask you to pay damages.
compensation to the victim.
Compensation. Thank you.
Yes. Are you okay with the minister?
I agree with AG, right, Honorable Speaker.
Okay. That's 42. I put a question that clause 41 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 41 as amended.
I put a question that clause 1 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 42.
I put a question that clause 42 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 43.
I put a question that clause 43 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary to the nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 44.
I put a question that clause 44 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 45.
I put a question that clause 45 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say aye, to the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 46.
I put a question that clause 46 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Clause 47.
I put a question that clause 47 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule 1.
I put a question that schedule 1 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule 2.
Schedule 2, Chair.
Right, Honorable Chair, we propose to amend Schedule 2 by substituting paragraph 12, the following. 12, nitrogen-based compound explosives. And justification for this is for clarity as the name of the authorized explosive. I beg to move.
We concede.
I put a question that schedule 2 be amended as proposed. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule 2 as amended.
I put a question that schedule 2 as amended stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule 3.
I put a question that schedule 3 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Schedule 4.
I put a question that schedule 4 stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Title.
I put a question that the title stands part of the bill. Those in favor say on the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Motion for resumption of the House.
Honorable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker, honorable members, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill
Honorable
entitled.
Minister, we are on resumption of the House. I beg
Oh,
to
sorry.
move that the House.
I beg to move that the House do resume and the Committee of the Whole House report thereto.
Thank you. I put a question that the House resumes and the Committee of the Whole House reports thereto. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister. There is a procedure. You know, it's my vote. I can't deny him procedure much.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the Explosives Bill 2023 and passed clauses 1, 4,
Constitute amendments.
has amended clauses 2, 3, 8, 12, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20, 24, 28, 29, 31, 32, 35. I, however, had 41 included here, but we had said it be passed as was. For the record, Schedule 2, I beg to move.
Motion for adoption of the report
Thank
of
you.
the Committee of the Whole House.
Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister.
Motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Right, Honorable Speaker, I beg to report that the Committee of the Whole House has considered the bill entitled the Explosives Bill 2023. I beg to move that the motion for adoption of the report of the Committee of the Whole House be passed.
First repeated. First repeated. That you beg to move that the House adopts the report of the Committee of the Whole
I beg to
House.
move that the House adopts the report of the Committee of the Whole House.
Thank you. Honorable members, I put a question that the House adopts the report of the Committee of the Whole House. And those in favor say the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
Bill's third reading, the Explosives Bill 2023.
Honorable Minister.
Right, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members, I beg to move that the bill entitled the Explosives Bill 2023 be read for the third time and do pass into law.
Thank you, honorable members. The quorum maintained, and I put a question that the Explosive Bill 2023 be read the third time and do pass. Those in favor say and the contrary, nay. The ayes have it.
A bill for an act titled the Explosives Act 2023.
The bill is passed and the title settled. Honorable members, thank you so much for enduring to stay up to this time. I now adjourn the House to tomorrow at 2.